Welcome, sir.
Greetings, everyone.
Yes.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Greetings on behalf of Amit University too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm deemed to be university is celebrating the World Maritime Day today to appreciate the effort of the seafarers, their core role in shipping and its future. To add on a role play, depicting the manuring of ship on a 1 hour notice is performed by our university cadets to showcase their expertise. A very pleasant afternoon to everyone gathered here. To give a red carpet welcome to all assembled here, may I take the pleasure of the requesting Chief Engineer Radhakrishnan sir to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Ms. Sindhuja.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome to all
Good afternoon, sir.
on the online cordially to celebrate World Maritime
Thank you,
Day.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Happy Maritime Day.
Happy Maritime Days. Same.
I personally and cordially and on behalf of AMAT management, I welcome Mr. Charles Watkins, founder of Mental Health Support Solutions Germany.
Thank you
I
very much
welcome-
for the welcome.
I welcome convener, Professor Chief Engineer Bhupati Bhaskaran sir, Principal, DGS course, AMAT.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
I personally welcome Coordinator Dr. Smiley Madhuram. I
Thank you, sir.
personally welcome Sindhuja Madam also and Mr. Harish Kumar also belonging to Marine Management,
Thank you, sir.
Marine Engineering Management.
Thank you, sir.
A ship is always safe at shore, but that it is not what it is built for. Albert Einstein. We all know without seafarer, half the world will starve, the other half will freeze. That is the importance and impact of the seafarers. But unfortunately, only this year, IMO has realized the importance of seafarers. International shipping transports more than 80% of global trade to peoples and communities all over the world. World Maritime Day was first held on March 17, 1978 to mark the date of the IMO Convention entry into force 1958 Soles. World Maritime Day is celebrated annually to provide an opportunity to focus attention on the importance of shipping and other maritime activities and to emphasize a particular aspect of the work of International Maritime Organization, IMO. World Maritime Day is observed every year on the last Thursday of every September, and this year it is on this day, 30th September of 2021. The purpose of this day is to appreciate the importance of maritime industry, to underline the importance of maritime security, maritime environment, safety, and shipping. The theme of the last year's World Maritime Day was Sustainable Development, Sustainable Shipping. The theme shows the initiatives taken by IMO and its member states to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. At last, IMO has chosen to make 2021 a year of action of seafarers who are facing unprecedented hardship due to COVID-19 pandemic, despite their vital role as key workers for global supply chains. The World Maritime theme for 2021, Seafarers at the core of shipping future, seeks to increase the visibility of seafarers by drawing attention to the invaluable role they play now and will continue to play in the future. The focus on seafarers comes as the COVID-19 pandemic has placed extraordinary demands on seafarers, with hundreds of thousands of men and women stranded on ships for months beyond their original usual contracts, unable to be repatriated to the national travel restriction due to the national travel restrictions. A similar number of seafarers are unable to join ships and earn a living. This crew change crisis, which has been ongoing for nearly 1.5 years, is a humanitarian emergency that threatens safety of shipping. Throughout the year, the World Maritime Theme will also put the spotlight on other issues related to the human element of shipping, including safety and security of life on board ships, seafarers' well-being, and the importance of ensuring an appropriately trained and qualified workforce, ready to meet the challenges and opportunities of digitalization and automation. So with this welcome speech, I would like to once again thank the management for giving me an opportunity, as well as my principal sir to give me an opportunity to stand before this very allied crowd and welcoming you all. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, sir. I take immense pleasure in requesting our revered principal, sir, Chief Engineer Bhubadi Bhaskaran, the sculptor of determinations and self-confidence, to deliver the presidential address.
Yes. Welcome to all. Great things happen when there is gathering of great minds. A very warm welcome to one and all gathered here. Today, Amit University is happily celebrating the World's Maritime Day, and we are extremely happy and honored to have our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Charles Watkin, founder of Mental Health Support Solution from Germany, with us. We heartily welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to thank the management for giving us such wonderful opportunity. The World Maritime Day is observed every year by International Maritime Organization. The individual governments around the world choose the precious day to celebrate Maritime Day. However, it is normally observed during the final week of September. The World Maritime Day is observed to raise awareness towards maritime safety and maritime environment, as well as initiations taken by International Maritime Organization in this particular area. My salutation to seafaring community on this occasion for their sacrifice and hard work. I'm also delighted to say that our cadets are also showcasing their extreme experience toward on their concept Manoring of ship. I wish them success and a wonderful future. I certainly hope this program will be fully useful to everyone gathered here. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We deem it a privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest to the August gathering. I now request Mr. Kumaravel, Assistant Professor, Department of Marine Engineering, for the chief guest introduction.
Good afternoon to all. It's my immense pleasure to share a few words about our respected chief guest, Mr. Charles Watkins, founder of Mental Health Support Solutions, Germany. Mr.
Kumaravel,
Yes, sir.
come back on the video, please.
Yes, sir. There might be problem in video, sir. I will continue. Wait.
Okay.
Mr. Charles
Hello.
Watkins completed
Yes, hello.
a master's degree in clinical psychological and completing his clinical training at University Medical Center of Princeton. He has been researching the area of maritime stresses and psychological illness to develop preventive measures for maritime industry. Mr. Charles Watkins is continuing to find helpful psychological solutions for real-life problems on ships and onshore. Some of his area of expertise are systematic therapy, emergency counseling, crisis management. I'm really happy to have such a great personality as a chief guest for today's function. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our esteemed Chief Guest, Mr. Charles Watkins, with the Chief Guest address.
Welcome you, sir.
Greetings, everyone. Can you hear me well? Does it work?
Yes,
Yeah?
sir. We could hear
Great.
you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I feel very honored to be among such esteemed and amazing and smart and avant-garde people, thinking in the right direction and thinking about the hearts and souls of people. That is what I do. So thank you so much for believing in that, for pushing this forward and being outspoken about this. We need more institutions like you who understand the value of it. So again, thank you so much for inviting me. And yes, to everyone out there, happy World Maritime. And I think it's important to say seafarers are at the core of shipping's future. There's no doubt about it. Let me try to share my screen if that's possible. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see, did that work? Okay, or do you? Ah, yes, excellent. All right. Can everyone see the presentation? Yeah?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, great, excellent, thank you. Sorry, I'm not so technically perfect. I'm glad it worked. Now, for those who don't know me, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Charles Watkins. I'm a clinical psychologist and a psychotherapist and one of the founders of MHSS, of Mental Health Support Solutions. We've been doing this for a long time, and I've met a lot of seafarers over the years. And what we do is we have a helpline for you, which we offer services to you that you can offer for emotional support. We offer training, which is very important on mental health, resilience, and various other topics for you to be prepared when you're out there dealing with isolation and other things. We do vessel visits when it's required. Sometimes we do random checks. Sometimes we go to vessels when they are in distress, when bad things had happened, when there's lethal accidents or other people have gotten hurt or self-harm. We go to vessels to help stabilize the vessel with psychological first aid. And we do crisis management, and we have a global team of psychologists who speak up to, I think now it's 18 different languages. So now I just want to give you a quick intro so everyone knows who I am and where I'm coming from. Thank you. Now today I'd like to address a certain topic I think is very important and often gets forgotten. Mental health, of course, but the importance of communication. And before I get into communication, I want to start with something that I care about most profoundly, and that is, why do you matter as seafarers? So of course, thank you for the brilliant introduction, by the way, and it's been said, you matter for the world trade and the globalization and all of our goods and how we eat and everything we do. Our daily lives depend on you, obviously, right? But who recognizes seafarers? Let's be very honest. Very often they get forgotten or seafarers aren't mentioned. So today, especially today, I am very honored and pleased that that they are being respected, they're being honored, they're being heard and understood. And I like the fact that this is happening because, remember, often a lot of seafarers tell me we have the feeling we are invisible to society. And today, I think we should make sure of it that they don't feel invisible, because they are one of the most important, crucial workers we have. When I started Googling why do seafarers matter, I ran into an article. This is from Maritime Insight. And number 3 is, not everybody can do this job. And that's one of the most important things I'd like to focus on today. You are away long periods from your family, without connectivity often. You're being at sea every day. There are weather conditions that allow you to have trouble with sleeping. There's immense work, immense pressure, and you deliver and plan every day, and that's your regular job. So before I get into this topic, let me extend to you the fact that you already are extremely resilient, or you're building up resilience as you start your career and progress, okay? So very few people are able to do this job, right? So the few of you that are able to do, I bow to you, because this is an extremely hard thing to do, and it takes a lot of courage and certainly a lot of resilience, psychological resilience, to do this, okay? Now, I'd like to start with an old map of the sea. And as you can see here, you know, there are different sections and you have different lines. And nowadays, you know, with new mapping technology, these are obsolete, right? They're not in use anymore. But I'd like to draw your attention to something very specific. And these are these little monsters you see. You know, sometimes there are big squids, sometimes dragons, right? Sometimes other monsters. And I thought that was interesting because they used to indicate something. Of course, they used to believe, you know, there were sea monsters and dangers out there, but they used to indicate something else, something very important, and that we often forget. And that is that there are unknown dangers out there. They used to say, here be dragons. And sometimes there used to be unexplored parts of the maps, and they wanted to warn other seafarers, be careful when going through these areas. We don't know what's out there. I think recently mental health has gained more exposure, but I think we're still at the very beginning of understanding it, understanding the struggles and helping, right? So let's be mindful as we go forward that there are areas that aren't explored yet, that we're exploring. We need to be careful. We need to be cautious. We need to try to understand and try to explore so we really get the right information to help people in the right way, okay? So here be dragons might be something we smile about nowadays because we know there are no monsters out there. But I can assure you that there are a lot of dark areas when it comes to mental health that happen on ships, that go unnoticed, that very much feel like monsters. And depression and anxiety and isolation and being caught on a ship and not being able to leave the ship can feel like that, very much so. So let's be mindful of that going forward. I think in the past they had a good idea that seafaring needed to be a conscious decision, and you need to be careful and you need to watch out for yourself. And nowadays we have the ability to do this. I would like to give you a quick overview so you all have an idea of what it looks like when it comes to mental health and seafarers. So this is from the ITF Seafarers Trust and Yale University. You know, it's a very broadly published study. Many of you probably know it. It was published in 2019. 25% of seafarers, okay, in this study showed depression rates that were significantly higher than the regular working and general population. 25%. That's a lot. Okay, and 20% of seafarers surveyed had suicidal ideation over the 2 weeks' time where they were surveyed. 20%. Okay, that's 5 times higher than the normal average anywhere. Okay, and depression, anxiety, and suicide ideation, they are associated with the likelihood, a lot higher likelihood of workplace injury. Okay, so getting injured on board while working. Of course, as you can imagine, if you are anxious or if you are suffering, your concentration goes. You're fatigued. You're not able to focus as well as you usually can. And then accidents happen. And remember that when things get extended, like contracts, and in the beginning we are happy to do so, probably because we want to help out, we want to show that we are serious about our job. But we also need to think about the stress that does to us, right? As you can see here, this study also showed that there was a high risk of mental health issues when extending the voyage, when extending the contract. Okay, so I want just to draw attention to this so you have an idea of the numbers, so you know what it looks like when it comes to seafarers. Now, let's look at the factors we can control. Let's look at the factors that are important for you to know. So, the same study identified lack of adequate training as something that you can influence, okay? Lack of control and influence as well, okay? Uncaring work environment, interesting. That is how leadership, how the environment on board, on the vessel, how you treat each other. Exposure to violence and threats of violence. We're talking about bullying and harassment, okay? And of course, with that comes lack of job satisfaction, usually due to the work environment. So what can you do about this? In the past, I've often heard seafarers say, when they get bullied, when they get harassed, that's normal. We just have to silently suffer. It will be over eventually. Maybe in the next contract, it'll be better. I urge you strongly to change that mindset, to believe you can affect your environment. You can change how people treat you. Ask for training and psychoeducation. That's an important first step. Know your rights and reach out to people when you can, okay? There are many services now available to you. You can speak up. You have the right to speak up, okay? It's important that you find yourself as an agent that is able to influence your environment. You have control. It might not feel like it, but there are things that are normal and things that are not okay and simply abusive, like bullying and harassment. And we need to start the process of that change by slowly changing that environment. And the only way that will change, if you take that into your own hands and you speak up, because that's the only thing that will really make a real difference, okay? Now, don't be afraid to speak up, okay? As I said, you shape your environment, okay? You have the power to change how people treat you, even though it might not feel like that. Talk to others. You can call the mental health helpline. You can call different friends. You can tell family. You can try to bond with people on board. Start that conversation. Don't be afraid of it, okay? You can be that difference that changes the working environment on your vessel. I've seen it happen many times, so I know it's possible. Now, how do we speak up? So why is communication so important? Communication is the foundation of everything, okay? Especially when you're dealing with different nationalities, different cultures coming together. You want to make sure you have a true good base of communication and you know how it's done, okay? Training will help you with that, right? But also understanding how to. So I've given you a couple tips on how to avoid miscommunication, okay? And how to embrace the differences, okay? That will come together, surely, when you're on a vessel. Now, one of the most important things is, this sounds a bit weird, I know, but it's don't avoid conflict, okay? Conflict is there and will happen, but if you avoid it, it will linger, it will create bad energy, everyone will notice it, you know? If two people come into a room that have been fighting, right? You tend to notice it. Something's different about them, right? Their body language, there's an energy that you can feel. So don't avoid conflict. Go towards it, embrace it. Try to solve it. Say, hey, what's going on? I'm noticing there's tension. Let's talk about it. This is not healthy, okay? The sooner you start with this, the easier it gets, okay? And when you're trying to resolve a conflict on board, okay, first of all, choose a neutral location. Try to go away from where it happened, because the area where it happened is usually charged emotionally, right? With bad feelings, bad vibes, or the memory of someone wronging the other person, right? And you do this by starting with a compliment. It's always good to say, hey, I've noticed you've been doing this very well, or that very well, or I like this about you. It opens people up, instead of, you know, if you start with criticizing, maybe you've experienced this, people tend to shut down. So open them up. Be kind. Kindness through all of this is probably your best friend. Kindness will always help. Try to be kind. Give kindness. It'll come back to you. Don't jump to conclusions. Okay? Try to hear out what people have to say. Try to understand. Remember, when you're dealing with different cultures, it could simply be that a word was differently meant than understood, right? Or there's a language barrier, or there's other things that you didn't know about the culture, the nationality, or about that specific person. Okay. Don't punish all the time. Think in terms of opportunities. How can I grow from this? Okay. How can the other person grow from this? How can we find ways to do this? Offer guidance is always stronger when you offer guidance instead of solutions, right? Solutions are great, but if you offer people to explore their own ways, you'll be surprised how creative they can be. And of course, constructive criticism. I don't think I need to explain this. That has to do with, the manner of approach, the respect, and the way you offer feedback to people. Okay. And it can happen often in a, high-stake environment that we seem to start yelling or we're angry. So try not to intimidate. Try to be kind. And act decisively, of course. When you've decided on something, act on it. One of the major good advices I can give you doesn't come from me. It comes from other seafarers I've been talking to. And I've heard this a couple times, and it really helped them. So when it comes to being treated unfairly or bullying and harassment, if it's hard for you to set out and to start the conversation, try to set healthy limits from the very beginning. Try to tell people from the very beginning, this is not okay. I don't like you doing this. This is not respectful. This is where I draw the line. This helps other people know where your limits are. So when you communicate openly and you speak about the limits that you set, the healthy barriers that you want, the thresholds, the things how you want people to talk to you, you want people to address you, and how you want people to treat you, it sets the ground, a healthy ground, for a good relationship. And often that's forgotten. So for all of you starting out, for all of you mentoring younger people, remember, that's very good to do in the very beginning. What do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? And I know this is clear. There are contracts are very detailed and say exactly what your work is about, what they expect. I don't mean that. I mean, when you're there, when you're looking the person in the eye, say it in your own words, what you want, what you expect, and allow the other person to voice that too. That really helps to build relationship and to build trust. Yeah. So these are the don'ts. They're very simple, actually. Don't make false promises. Don't give false information, of course, right? We know this. Don't force help on others, and don't be intrusive or pushy. So these seem very, very self-explanatory. However, sometimes we really want to help someone. So we're like, hey, listen, just, come on, let me know what's going on. Just talk about it. It can be a bit pushy. So if you're just there for them and you tell them, hey, listen, you seem to not want to talk, that's fine. No, I'm here for you. I'll be definitely here for you if there's anything. And, when you're ready, you can come to me. That's also establishing trust. And it's kind. Remember, kindness is your strongest friend. Don't pressure people, again, to tell their story, Don't share the person's story with others. Try to keep it confidential. When the person trusts in you, keep it to yourself. And never judge people for their actions and feelings. And I know this sounds self-explanatory, but when dealing with all these different cultures and all these different inputs, all these different personalities, it's sometimes hard not to judge people for acting a certain way or being a certain way, because we might react very differently. But everyone has their world and their reality, and we need to first of all respect that and try to understand that not everyone will have our mindset, and that's okay. So communication is key, all right? What we want to do is we want to observe what's happening, yeah? We want to listen, and that's sometimes more difficult to do than we think, because we might think we're listening, but we might be thinking about the next thing we want to say. So truly listen, ask questions about what the person meant to help understand that listening process and to help understand that person in a better way. Feel, be open about your feelings, right? Allow yourself to feel. That's okay. It's what we're there for. That's why we're humans. We're emotional beings, okay? And of course, support each other, right? You're stronger together as a team. And together you can make a lot more change, positive change happen than you ever thought. Okay. And I'd like to talk about mental hygiene because MHSS, Mental Health Support Solutions, stands for a holistic approach. It's not just mental health. It's physical exercise. It's how you eat, okay? How you hydrate, how much water you drink, how connected you are to others, okay? Of course, your sleep hygiene, right? And very important also, how are you connected to yourself in nature, okay? And nature can be yourself, or it could be in the outside world, okay? Doesn't matter. So once you understand that it's important to take care of your body, your mind and body are one. So yoga, right? Meditation, exercise of any kind helps you stay fit. It helps your mind stay resilient. Your diet is extremely important. So a lot of the healthy things, if you think about like nuts and fruits and vegetables, they have omega-3, zinc, magnesium, which decrease anxiety and help with depression. So they've been linked in studies to helping people deal with depression and making you more resilient. So it's very important to know how to eat healthy. Connect with others, connect with family, with friends, with loved ones, connect with people on board. It'll make you feel less alone. There's actually, in our brain, things happen when you connect with people. Certain hormones get released and stress is reduced. So the stress hormone is actively reduced by being around others and engaging with others on the vessel, eye-to-eye contact, okay? And this is a hard one. Sleep is difficult, right? So it's hard to always get a good night's sleep, especially when you're on a vessel. But if you can, keep in mind that makes a big difference. That's kind of the foundation of your day. It helps with regulating your emotions. It helps with memory. It helps with focus. So if you don't have enough sleep, and if you're anyway feeling, a bit down, of course, as we saw in the study, you're more likely to get injured doing work because you can't focus as well. Connecting with nature, walking on the vessel, walking around, looking at the star if it's possible, looking at the birds if they're there. When shore leave is possible again, take a walk outside if you can leave. Allow yourself to leave the place where you work and where you live. Let's keep these things in mind because I want to give you the proper way of thinking about mental health. And if you're thinking about mental health, you should think holistically in these very different categories, okay? And remember, drinking water is a very simple thing you can do. It helps you stay focused. It prevents headaches. It actually increases your oxygen levels in your brain so you're better at your job. And that's an easy thing to do. And last but not least, I'm big on self-care and self-compassion. If you know me, I like that topic. I think it's very important and it gets forgotten. Founder of AMET, Dr. Ramachandran, he had an amazing initiative last year where he held a speech and said it's important to invest in training for mental health and to understand how a meditation works and how important it is for resilience. And I'm so glad that this institution recognizes how important resilience is and practicing stabilizing and quieting the mind. That's a very beautiful thing and a very powerful thing in times of stress. And that has to do with self-care and self-compassion as well. How am I communicating with myself? How am I talking to myself at the end of the day? You will make mistakes. We all do. Okay? That's part of your growing and learning curve. And they won't all be nice mistakes. Be kind to yourself. Don't criticize yourself too much, because people that do that a lot are not kind to themselves. Allow yourself to grow and learn from mistakes. See them as opportunities. And everybody goes through hard times. A lot of seafarers that have contacted me, I've heard them say, oh, everyone else is doing so great, and I'm the only one struggling. Not true. It's a shared human experience. We are all struggling in our own way. Many people struggle. It's normal. It's part of life. So don't feel alone in your struggle. Yeah. There are a lot of people that are struggling, and it's normal. Okay. And last but not least, be mindful of your thoughts and feelings. Allow them to be there. Every feeling has a place and a reason. Yeah? If you're able to balance it out, don't let the feelings take you to a different place, right? To a place of worry and anxiety. Try to keep them at bay, but don't suppress them either. Try to have a healthy way of dealing with them. And that's not always simple. That takes time and effort and work. But it's worth to try it. It's worth doing it, because that's the very start. How you treat yourself indicates a lot how you will treat others. So self-care and self-compassion is kind of the last part of communicating with yourself and others that I'd like to address today. Thank you so much for your time, for listening to me. Again, I feel very honored to be. Yeah. Back to you. Thank you so much for having me. And,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your invaluable insights to our participants. Indeed, your speech a lot on the mental health of the seafarers and participants, and the self-care and compassions, and how to reduce the depressions and anxiety at all. I strongly believe that his speech would have ignited and created a strong mentality among our cadres and seafarers and participants, and enjoyed throughout the sessions. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you again. Thank you so much, and happy Maritime Day.
Thank you. The most awaited moment is now. It's time to acknowledge the talent of our brimming cadets. The fruit of hard work and discipline will certainly be reaped. The Manoring is an operation during which a vessel enters or exits coastal waters of a country. They crosses several ships on the way and proceeds towards or depart from the berth or jetty of the port. A ship may need to maneuver not only while arriving or departing a port, but also while crossing canals and traffic zones. In this process, the maximum number of manpower is made available, and all unmanned systems are changed over to manual control so that full control of the ship is achieved. Here, the plan of actions needed for the manuring procedure is depicted as a role play which showcases the expertise of our cadets. Certainly and surely, our cadets are having the brightest future. Now, it's time for an interactive session. I hand over the forum to Chief Engineer Sundar Rajan, sir, GME HOD, sir. Please. Sir, please.
Hello, ma'am. Very nice to know, and we are pleased to have Mr. Charles' advice and his lectures. Very nice to hear about with regards to the health. And I wish you're all enjoying the Maritime Day today. And I hope we'll bring forward some more effective way of approaching this Maritime Day henceforth in the coming years. We now go to a clip or a role play of our cadets performing as if they were dreaming about the future, how they will react to the situation, how nicely they are presenting. We'll just see how important aspect with respect to the manoring. We'll see what are the actions, and I hope ma'am, Sundara ma'am, we can ask the concerned this thing to play the role play of manoring by our candidates.
Yeah, okay, sir. Muthu, sir. One
Hello?
second, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
Okay. Share. Sharing like that. Okay.
Hope you're all attending the class well. We are in a position now that we have given enough of classes, enough of exercises, enough of lectures and everything. You will be living good, yeah? Any experience, you will have the sailing experience. We hope that you are doing well. You flourish yourself and make your career. Besides that, you will be making your career and bring laurels to the college also, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions you wanted to ask, my dear boys?
No, sir.
No. Are you all happy?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to sail?
Yes, sir.
Can you make your career?
Yes, sir.
What do you think what you are going to become?
Captain.
All of you can become captain.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
How long are you going to take?
6 or 7.
6 or 7 is too short.
10 years.
10 years? It's good?
Yes,
Very good. We hope for that. Our college and on behalf of college, I'm wishing you all the best. Imagine what you're going to do. Imagine what you're going to do. That as if you are on board. Can you?
Yes, sir.
What you're going to imagine yourself?
As navigating in the bridge, sir.
Uh-huh. Will you be?
Yes, sir.
You will be the commanding officer. You know what's going to happen when you are doing such, suppose your scenario is there, that you are going to maneuver the vessel, that's called end of passage. Do that any break on ship? Is there anything like that? No, in that case, what do you do?
Use the telegraph.
We have to
Use the telegraph.
telegraph. Yeah, but telegraph is after, but you cannot straight away use the, can you do that? No, you have to maneuver. You have to maneuver. Like when you're traveling by a car on the highway, you cannot straight away come to your changing, starting, stopping, right?
Yes.
That's the way we do because there is no brake. It's open sea, right?
Yes.
Imagine yourself. Imagine yourself as if you are all on board doing this operation of maneuvering, and that is called giving the notice to the engine room as 1 hour notice. and the actions are going to take place. Your core people, staff in the engine room will take care of that, how they are going to react to your orders and all. Yes? Imagine yourself as a pilot, imagine yourself as a second mate, imagine yourself as a master of the ship. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Remote control, this is MV calling. MV Ahmed calling. Do you read me?
Yes, MP Amit, please go ahead.
Port control, we are approaching the fairway bar. Do we have a pilot? Okay.
Yes, MP Amit, please keep approaching. Your pilot is on the way.
It's slow head.
It's the head, sir.
Half ahead.
Half a head, sir.
Full ahead.
Full head, sir.
Port deck.
Port 10, sir. Green out port 10, sir.
Midship.
Midship, sir. Yeah, midship, sir.
Starboard deck.
Midship, sir.
Midship. Gibraltar port control, this is MV Ahmed calling. Do you read me?
Yes, MP Amit, I read you loud and clear.
Port control, do we have any berthing instructions?
Yes, MP Amit.
Yes, pale and healthy today, and it's quite comfortable climate conditions. May I know your intention?
Yes, sir, we want to work on arrival. We are on the way, and we are acting now. We want to proceed towards the working side.
Yeah.
Maybe know what's the work and maybe available.
Yes. Yes, MV Ahmed, your working time is very well in schedule, and of course you can, the pilot is also heading towards you now, and we have already commanded the pilots, and that's the task. How many tanks do you need? You need 4.5 one each, or any additional tanks required?
Yes, forward now, tasks are required. We'll be working on the starboard side. And we need all the assistance from you, and pilot very likely to be one of the vessels.
Within another 10 minutes time, the pilot will be boarding, and I hope your bow thrusters are also functioning well. And here, of course, W4, vessel 4 is available for berthing, and your berth is also ready for starboard side berthing.
Right, sir. We will call upon pilot boarding on the vessel. We will be manoring, and we are expected to complete our operation by 10:00 hours.
Thank you, sir. I heard And I note it down as 100 hours you will be completing your operation. Wish you all the best. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you. Bye. Good day.
All right.
Hello, Tinsa. This is third. Hello, Tinsa. Yes, sir. Yeah, 1 hour notice to the engine. Okay, sir. Noted, sir. I will inform chief and as well as others. Okay, sir.
So prepare the engine,
Okay.
and we are end of passage in 1 hour.
Okay, sir. Once everything is ready, I will let you know, sir.
Thanks.
Okay. Yes, Chief. This is Sabnish, third engineer. So we are given notice for 1 hour. So can you please come down, sir? Okay, sir. Thank you. Yes, second. This is Abhinesh, third engineer, and we are given 1 hour notice. So it will be good if you come down by now. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, electrician, this is Abhinesh, engineer. So can you please come down, sir, as we are given 1 hour notice for by now. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. You go first. Question, sir, we have to check few things.
Yeah.
So what about those lights on the deck?
Yeah, so it's working properly.
As we are in dark, we need some proper lighting up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, sir, and your installation tests are okay as we are gonna.
I completed the latest time also.
Okay. So when we are running report, there is no problem of this installation.
No, everything is done there.
Okay, sir. Then it's okay. So let second come, we will discuss further. Okay. Engine control from. Yes, second. Yeah. So second, can you please come down?
Go on.
Yes, third sir. What's the news? Okay. So you start the process and coming down in 2 minutes. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
So now we are arriving,
Okay, sir.
and we have to do some things. So we'll wait for them.
Yes.
Once they come,
Yes,
we'll do everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And checklist we have to complete.
Okay.
So from your part, please check few things.
Sure, sir. I'll do it, man.
Okay. So this is the checklist print. You can keep this.
Sure, sir. I'll check all the things.
Yeah. wait, let them come. Yeah. Just suppose, let's play again. This instruction is called just again. So now second chief and electrician will answer the comment. So before that, you have to play your part. And then they will tell you. Before that, we will use this checklist. Things are under your control. Just make a note of it and please check it. Can I read that one? Okay. So now the second and chief will be coming. They will be giving instruction for us. Then we will play our part. We wait for some time. Let them know.
As per my side, I have done okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they give the instruction level for my side.
Okay.
So, he is okay from my side. Okay. Let's wait for chief and
Okay. Let's start them. Let them come. We will make it ready. And please take a note of the checklist whether you find if you find anything from your side is not okay, just tell us before.
hello, Garden Coach.
Yes. Good evening. So now we got the instruction from the captain that we are going to maneuver now, and we got to not notice. So they've been departing the now, and we have this checklist that's been being filled.
What is you have done all the checklist and all you are taking from the master and everything.
Yeah. We told them that we are filling it up now. We are waiting for your order to do the rest of things.
Yeah, I think yes, it's all the documents that they come and go. They are prepared all everything. Just have to do the connection so that we can take a man over there.
Also, it's something.
Yeah, it's working fine. I am man on it. Yeah.
Nice.
What?
You can take number one priority, second priority, third priority. So we can use it.
As per my side, sir, I have checked all the things are working fine. So we can do the second, the fourth is
Please stand by.
Project copy, thank you. Starboard 10.
Starboard 10, sir.
Midships.
Beyond starboard 10, sir. Midship, sir. Beyond midship, sir.
Stop engines.
Stop engine, sir.
Welcome, Captain.
Thank you.
Wheels on midship, engines are off. Control is joystick.
Thank you.
Stop. Let's go ahead.
Gibraltar Port Control.
Sir,
Clean on Howrah Port, sir.
Sir, pilot ball allowed, sir.
Pilot.
cadet go down to bring the pilot.
Roger, copy.
And both are in like 27 tons, 27 tons each. Okay. And it,
Bear this side.
check the static header time level. As I have checked and it's good. Okay. And reduce the speed to 60 RPM. Okay. Good morning, sir. Yeah, good morning, Chief. Yeah, good morning. Yes, Chief, this has been the checklist still and the things done. You bring me the logbook and the movement.
Yeah, it is way too late. It's fine. We all have to put the notice from that.
Whether the freshwater generating store.
Yeah.
So Peter, go with second subject coordinate with you. We'll have to take the computer number. Okay. Okay, sir.
Gibraltar Core Control. Pilot is on board. Yes, MV Ahmed, Gibraltar Core Control. Pilot is on board and we are approaching the berth. Roger, keep approaching.
Stand by on channel 16. Port 10.
Half ahead.
Half ahead.
Half ahead. Clean on port 10. Ships.
Midships.
Midship. Clean on midship.
Can you tell us which berth we are going?
We are going to container berth 2.
What is our final mooring?
Final mooring is
Good, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is engineer on board, sir.
We are taking dead slow.
Yes, this is engineer on board, sir. Third engineer. And we are going to slow now, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is captain. Yes, captain. With the pilot is on board? Yeah. Okay. Everything is good there? Okay, okay. Fine. Yeah. So, and then to stop. And we can move to stop. Which? Sir, Captain called. He said that as they are going to enter the boat, they need the generator as well as they need to switch on the breakers for power thruster. Okay. Okay, sir. This is Yes, Captain. This is engineer on watch, Abhinesh. So we will do it. And can you ask for the control changeover? I think the control change. Okay, sir. Okay. That is for engineer.
Station forward and up. Forward bridge.
Roger, bridge copy, final mooring 4+2.
And first line is headline forward.
Roger, copy.
Please send the heading line to the heading line.
Roger, copy.
port 5.
Port 5. Milan, port 5.
Port 5.
Port 5. Using.
Underkeel clearance is 9.8.
Chip. Port 10. We launch starboard 10.
Forward set the heading line.
I'm sure.
Sending the heaving lines forward.
Send the headline forward.
I'm sure.
Headline ashore.
Half send the stern line to the pole. Please send all other lines.
All make fast forward and aft.
Roger, copy that. Please put the red dots on the lights.
Headline seconded by heaving line.
What about the stern line?
Stern line, please set it by the boat.
Thank you. Station forward and aft. Pick up the. Please set the heading line to the heating line. Roger, copy.
Port 5.
Port 5. Milan Port 5. Port 10. Milan Port.
Starboard 10.
Please set all other lines.
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணு தேங்க்யூ சொல்லுங்க அவங்க சொல்றேன்
Dead slow.
skip பண்ணுங்க தேங்க்யூ வந்துருமா கடைசி யாரு பேச போறா சொல்லுங்க செஞ்சு விட்டு
Hope you're all attending the class well. We are in a position. Siddhuja ma'am.
And surely our cadets are having the brightest future. Now it's time for an interactive session. I hand over this forum to Chief Engineer Sundarajan sir, GME HOD. Please sir.
That was an attempt to by the boys after having dreamt in the class.
Yes, sir. Very good.
It show, about 30-40 minutes of their interaction as if they have become already in the rank holders as chief and masters, and everything was fine. Unfortunately, we have been given some, very less time or something, so that the boys, whatever they could, they deciphered it and expressed themselves as if they are on board. And to my knowledge, with the experience of 2 days of a little bit of practice, and 1 day we have taken for editing purposes, and the boys have done excellently well. And my congratulations to them. And henceforth, their dreams comes true. We pray for that on this day, and we'll do such activities in future in a better way. Right, I would like to ask some questions with respect to the role play which we have made. Are you boys ready? Some of the boys are ready. Yes? Can I ask some questions, like a quiz? Hello, boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can anybody tell me one of you tell me what is manoring?
Sir, maneuvering is a part of navigation. And it is an operation during which a vessel entering or exiting the port or coastal waters of the country. It also crosses many vessels on the way while entering or exiting the port, or exiting while entering or departing from the port of a jetty or a berth of the ship or berth of the port. It is a and it is a maneuvering. Maybe it is a full operation, because we have to take the all unmanaged systems into manual condition. So everyone in the ship should work. The deck and Indian people they will have so much work, so they have to do very carefully while maneuvering.
Excellent. And it is a period where every hand is required, because we can't afford to make any mistakes. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Prabhat. Thank you very much. May I ask somebody who is assisting the master? Who is assisting the master during the maneuvering, navigation?
So everyone in the ship should work.
Pilot will be assessing the master, and around
very carefully
Okay.
Pilot will be assisting the master and around the port, and he is the thorough knowledge of the port.
Oh,
The
yeah.
thorough copy of the
Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
topography of the port condition and depth of the sea.
Uh-huh. All right, excellent. Let me ask somebody here also, some engine room. What are the necessary
Pilot will be
things?
assisting the
Okay.
master.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. What are the necessary things to handle
Pilot will
inside the engine room? What are the necessary things? Oh, what's your name, Mr.
Yes, sir. Shyam Sundar, sir.
Shyam Sundar? Oh,
Yes, sir.
very welcome. Are you all? Did you watch this program?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are
Good
the
of-
essential things which will do the manoring in the engine room?
Sir, adequate engineers will be assembled for maneuvering, sir. First thing is.
Yeah.
Next is additional generators on load for adequate power source.
Excellent.
To
What
take additional loads, sir.
Additional loads,
Yes, sir.
expected loads. Yeah.
Stop the purifiers.
Yeah.
Then stop freshwater generators, sir.
Do you know why do we need to stop the freshwater generator?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because in that heat energy will be this.
The heat energy is there, which is fluctuating because
Yes,
of
sir.
the engine speed. The fluctuation of jacket water temperature will
Yes, sir.
vary, and you cannot run the freshwater generator. Very good, very good. Then
Yes,
next, then next. Anything we have to do as a precautionary measure during the manoring?
All safety aspects we should follow during maneuvering.
Oh, okay. That's nice of you, Mr. Sham. That very good, very good, very nice to know. What are the things you will do as a chief engineer? Who are the chief engineer playing? As a chief engineer during the manoring period, what is the thing you will check up, cadet? What's your name? What's your
Good
name,
afternoon,
cadet?
sir. Prabodh here.
afternoon.
I
Yeah.
would like to answer this question.
Yeah, I would like to answer the. I hope you are the chief engineer and acting as a chief engineer, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you tell me what, as a chief engineer, you have already acted towards that? What
Yes,
is
sir.
the thing? What is the essential thing which you'll do in the manoring, which you'll anticipate, or as a checklist you will be seeing during manoring?
So first, I would take the control of the engine room. Then I would ensure that the main engine is ready in all the aspects.
It is running anyway.
Yes, sir. And then ensure it is running. It is in a good condition, and it is.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It is ready in all the aspects, and I'll ensure all the additional generators are running.
Okay.
And stern tube is lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And additional steering gears are
Stern tube sealing. Okay.
yes,
That's
yes, sir.
Sealings are correct.
And we have adequate lubrication for the stern tube.
Okay.
And additional steering motor should be running.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll liaise with the deck, and I'll ensure that we have a proper communication with deck.
Okay, that's good. Very nice of you to have answered this question.
Thanks.
Best of luck. Hope you will become the chief engineer as you have played it. Excellent. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Why do we need additional compressors? Anybody can answer. Anybody can answer.
Lubrication for the stern tube.
Why do we need additional compressor?
Should be running. And
good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, air compressors are used to give start air to the main engine.
Yeah.
So during maneuvering, there are lots of movements in the ship. That the ship speed will be changing frequently.
Okay.
So
sometime it may stop. If you have to stop,
the
you have to
ship
restart.
speed will be changing frequently. So we need to maneuver the ship, and the engine will start and stop. And in that case, so there should be enough air pressure to start the engine. So the air bottle will be pressed up to max 30 bar pressure.
Okay.
And in that case, we have additional air compressor.
Always we
there are
have
two
a surplus
air compressors.
air.
One is main compressor and one is additional air compressor.
No. Yeah, okay. All right. Very good. Very good, Mr. Reddy.
If the main compressor is not working, then we can start the additional compressor also and keep the main compressor on standby.
Yeah, no. For all the compressors will be running, and it will be always pressed up because we expect the movement anytime, start and stop. Okay, that's right. Fantastic. Is there anybody in the deck side who can answer me? What is the purpose
Thank
of
you, sir.
pilot on board? Anybody on the deck side can answer me. Hi, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
What's your name?
Sir, I'm Megha from BSc Nautical Science.
Right. Can you tell me what is
Yes.
the purpose of a pilot on board?
Sir, the importance of the pilot on the board. The pilot will know all the pilot will know the topography, the local traffic, and all the local information regarding that particular port.
Very good.
And he also know the local language to communicate with the.
That is the best of it. That's the best
Yes.
part of it. He will be knowing the local language so that he can communicate easily with the port. Excellent, excellently answering. Yeah, go ahead. What is other purposes of pilot day?
He also had that know the local language to communicate with tugboats, etc., and the local informations.
Fantastic, fantastic. Nice, very nice to have answered this question. Now, may I ask somebody else? What is the who is the superior authority when the manoring takes place on the deck?
Yes, sir.
Who is superseding the other? Is there anything like that?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah.
Abhishek from BSc Nautical Science.
Nautical Science, excellent. You are the
Yes,
ones
sir.
to answer these questions too. Yes, please.
Sir, even if the pilot is there on board, master will be the supreme authority. Sir.
That is right.
Yes.
He is the command. My ship, the mind command. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The
That's
pilot don't have the authority to override the master of the vessel.
Yeah.
Because
but-
if something happens, the pilot is master will be responsible for that.
Fantastic. That is correct. The pilot is helping, assisting the manoring, but he is not taking over the command of the ship. Right?
Yes,
Fantastic, boy. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. What all the happens as per the ships? Right? What I have written here. Okay. What do you understand by the lookout while maneuvering, boys? Anybody can answer? What is the purpose of a lookout while maneuvering?
Yes, sir. I'll take the opportunity to answer this question.
Please go ahead.
The lookout is the primary job which is done throughout the day, no matter what. A seaman becomes a lookout if he meets the basic requirements laid down in his TCW.
Yeah, good.
A seaman should normally be posted on lookout duty from dusk to dawn, and sometimes by day, especially when the visibility is restricted.
Super.
The lookout plays a vital role when the vessel is maneuvering.
Yeah.
A lookout is always placed when we are maneuvering a vessel into port or through a canal or channel.
Mm-hmm.
The lookout has to keep a watch and ensure that the ship is always safe. The lookout has to keep a visual scan of the entire horizon, has to use the radar effectively. A lookout has to be attentive to VHF radio calls and sound signals. The lookout immediately informs the officer of the watch whenever he feels that the situation is not going as per the plan.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. They will be all in the assistance of having a very good and safe maneuvering. All right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Very good that something is positive happening by this role play. And one final questions I would like to ask. What are the communication that can happen while somebody is in the bridge during the maneuvering period? Anybody can answer that?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes,
I'm
you are Mr. Keith.
Ashwin Nair.
Mr. Nair. Oh,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Yeah. Are you a deck or engine?
Yes, deck cadet, sir.
Yeah, you are supposed to answer this question. What sort of communications we can expect during maneuvering inside the bridge?
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, master will be communicating with the port state control and pilot facilities regarding the clearances and details of our arrival or departure and the
Very
pilot
good.
facilities.
Yep.
And once we have the pilot on board and in the bridge, we will be communicating in between the pilot, master, duty officer, helmsman, lookout, etc.
Okay.
Also, simultaneously, we will be keeping in communication with the forward station, aft station, and engine room also for maneuvering purposes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. These are the communications expected, right?
Yes.
At times
Yes.
you might have to call the agents. At times he has to call the office responsible that regarding the arrival and all these things. So it's all keep going on, but all is done in English because everybody can understand. That becomes a universal language.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, good.
Yes, sir.
And excellently done. I think Sindhuja ma'am, I think we have done a very good job. And the boys and the cadets have learned a lot from the role play, and they are in a position to answer. And I'm happy about that, and it's good going. Thanks a lot, and handing over to you. Sita ma'am. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. May I call upon Mr. Harish Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Marine Engineering, to declare the dissolution of the program.
Yeah, good evening to one and all who are gathered here. Myself, Harish Kumar Jagannathan, Assistant Professor, Department of Marine Engineering, Ahmed deemed to be University, feel delighted to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost thing, I have to thank God Almighty who have given us good health during this pandemic period and to organize this event in a very good and a grand success manner. On behalf of Department of Marine Engineering and on my own behalf, I express my sincere thanks to our management for encouraging and supporting us in all our endeavors. Now I would like to extend my gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Charles Watkins, for his wonderful and motivating speech. Thank you, sir. I am grateful to our principal, Chief Engineer Bhupati Bhaskaran, and Director DGS Competency Courses, Chidambaram sir, for their constant support in organizing this program. My special thanks goes to Chief Engineer Sundarajan sir for his guidance and moral support for being with us throughout the thick and thin during the execution of this program. I thank all my dear cadets who have participated in this program and for their enormous cooperation in organizing the event. My thanks also extends to all my dear colleagues for their tireless effort and dedication in organizing this event. Finally, my appreciation goes to all the participants for making this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Okay, Siddhuja ma'am, anything we can convey? Hello? Hello, can you go ahead?
Yes, sir, we can end up.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thanks a lot for everybody. Best of luck. We'll see you the next year. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much. From my side, I should really thank our Sundarajan sir and the team of members and Smiley madam, particularly, Dr. Smiley madam, and all our faculties who together, in a combined manner, the cadets cooperation has been wonderful. I should say excellent. I think it is something very realistic with whatever, guesses we had in a very short time. It was very well done. Thank you very much, sir. Hats off, sir.
Yes, sir. Final thanks to Mathuram Smiley, who is the coordinator and director for all these things, and also associated professors and lecturers in this connection. The Marine Department is going in a full swing, and we are expecting day by day there is a graph which is escalating, and we can prove our mettle as the days comes by. Any word from Ms. Director Chidambaram sir? Yeah, not only hand, sir, your advice, please.
In this program on World Maritime Day, we recollect our memories of our seafarers' life. Okay, we had a tough time, of course, and a real enjoyable time. And I believe the cadets, because you have seen it, they were developed routine about what is the world maritime and what is their responsibility in the world maritime industry. I wish everybody all the best.
All the
Well
best.
done.
Thank
Well
you,
done,
sir.
sir. Well done, sir. Well done. All the best. Good luck.
Chief Radhakrishnan sir, you have got anything few words to say about?
No. I have only appreciation. Nothing to say exactly. Extra.
Okay, sir.
All well done. As you said very correctly, we always thank our director, our principal, our cadets who did a very good job. Very good job. Of
Right,
course.
sir.
Very special thanks to Dr. Smiley madam.
Smiley madam.
Though we had the ideas, the execution point, madam had to really work hard day and night in this very short span. Madam has done it well. And of course, our cadets also did their level best to, put in. Madam, few words of yours, madam, will be encouraging to us.
Smiley is smiling now on completion. Hopefully, we hear from her.
Keep it up, man.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being with me in all aspects. Whenever I reached or approached everyone, they were very willing to help. Thank you, Sundarajan sir. Thank you, Principal sir. Thank you, Chidambaram sir. Thank you, Radhakrishnan sir. Thank you for everyone, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks to the cadet. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, cadets also. Yes, thank you.
Mr. Harish sir, do you have anything?
No, sir. Everything is over, sir. Fine. We have completed successfully.
Hello, students. Feedback form will be sent to you through WhatsApp. So we kindly request you to fill the feedback form and send
Thank
it
you,
to
sir. Thank you and all.
send to our mail IDs. We'll send you the mail ID and also the feedback form. Please kindly fill up after we are getting the feedback form in your WhatsApp groups. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Kilesh, please fill up the feedback form. It will be of a great help for us to improve on. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.